Shit. What's up guys? Welcome back to Will's Record channel. If you're new here, my name is Will and I love turbofans.
I f***ing love it!
And what I'm talking about are these handheld turbofans that you can hold down a button and it will just shoot a super strong stream of air just out of your hand like that. I find these things very helpful, and here are some examples of how they're useful. Now that I got your interest, there are a ton of different turbofans you can get on the market. There's just a ton of choices, and some of them are honestly not worth it. You don't want to fall for those cheaply made and ones that don't perform well but with really good marketing. Don't fall for those. So I've been testing a bunch of different turbofans and kind of ranking them in their performance and also their pricing. So it kind of gives you guys an idea of which turbofan might fit your needs better. So as you can see, I got a bunch of different turbofans on my table right here. These are all turbofans from SDFM. So SDFM was kind enough to send me their whole turbofan lineup from their smallest one to their strongest one. And I can kind of show you guys their lineup and the different kinds of turbofans, how they differ in terms of size and performance, the balance, so you guys know which one might fit your needs. So let's get to that. Now the lineup goes from the X1 over here, which I have never tested. I have no idea how it's going to perform, so I'm very excited about that. And the X3, the two X3s over here, these I kind of have an idea because there are many different X3s variant out on the market. So I'm interested to see how theirs is going to compare to the generic X3. And we also have the X15, which I've tested before. This thing is super powerful. It's got about the same power as the really popular Wolfbox turbofan. And lastly, they got their version of the X7, which is kind of my favorite so far. This turbofan is just like the perfect balance between size and power. I'm really excited to test these out, so let's get to unboxing them. All right, so this is the SDFM X1. This is a smallest one, I believe, and this on Amazon currently is only $26, which is a really good deal for a turbofan. So I'm excited to see how it performs compared to the other ones. It's really well packaged, and here's the unit. Compared to an X3, it's slightly smaller. The power button being at the bottom, you turn it on like this, and you can trigger it from here. And it comes with two additional nozzles, charging cord, and even a little strap. It also comes with a nice little bag and some cleaning tools and brushes. Honestly, I love this. For $26, not bad. Now here are the two X3s. I think one of them is an X3 Max, apparently, but we'll see what the difference is. So far they look, okay, never mind. I was gonna say they look identical. So this has gotta be the X3 Max over here, and the regular X3 Colorful. That's what it is listed on Amazon. It's certainly colorful. Look at that. And of course, they both come with a cleaning set, and these, they only come with this tip. But these are nice and magnetic, so you can easily take them on and off. And this, of course, is the same exact size as the generic X3. So we'll see how these compare. And next, of course, we got the X15 that we have featured on this channel before. This thing is quite awesome. It's kind of like an upgraded X3. So the body is going to be almost the same exact size as a regular X3, as you will see right here. So it is almost the exact same size At least the grip is the same. The nozzle just extends a little further. And with the X15, you also get 2 more nozzles, and of course the cleaning kit. And this is currently on Amazon for $80. And last but not least, we got my favorite one over here, the X7. This, don't mind the number, it's X7, but it is much more powerful than X15. I'm not sure why they named that one the X15, but of all these turbofans, this is going to be the most powerful. And check this out, it actually comes in a case like this. I have not seen a turbofan that is packaged this well. So it looks like you also get the cleaning kit over here and the turbofan itself. So this is the identical X7 that I've had for a while. And of course a couple of different nozzles over here. This brush nozzle is actually pretty useful. And this is currently $80 on Amazon, which is a really good deal for an all metal construction like this. All right, enough at looking at these. Let's see how they really perform. So I'm gonna turn this thing on. This is the smallest one, so I expect it to be the weakest. I got my trusty wooden block here. Let's see. $107. That's honestly really good for this kind of price point and this kind of size. So next, here's a colorful X3. You turn it on from the back right here. Holy crap, 170. That's honestly really powerful for an X3. So this is definitely one of the higher quality ones and not those cheaper ones. Now here's the X3 Max. I'm not sure what the difference is besides the color. Let's see. So honestly, it looks like the power is about the same, just a black one.
Black. If I don't say it, I'll pass out.
Now the X15. This thing is very powerful. I featured it before compared to the very popular Wolf box, and they were head to head. This thing has the same amount of power as this X3. But honestly, I think that says more about this X3 because the other X3s I've tested in the past were not this strong. This is pretty crazy for this model. I've not seen this kind of number from this model before. And honestly, it does make sense because these are the same exact motor size. This is just kind of like a more of an upgraded version. It's got the brake. So it's gonna feel a little better quality. And this one, it doesn't have the brake. So it rims off like that. So really surprising. These two are more similar than different than I expected. Now finally, the Big Daddy. This is the all metal construction X7. This for sure will get you a higher number. So compared to the rest, this is definitely gonna get you the most power. This is also the heaviest and the bulkiest one yet. So there's a bit of that pros and cons for you. All right, so numbers are just numbers at the end of the day. So to better show you guys how much power is coming out of this thing, I'm gonna do a water test over here. So I'm gonna fill up a liter of water over here and keep like a fixed distance, I think about 10 inches, and blow the air straight at the water to show you guys how much water this can remove at the set amount of distance. So that kind of tells you the feel of the power from the wind that this is pushing out. All right, here we go. So this is about a liter of water over here. I'm gonna keep a 10-inch distance, so about here, and blow straight at the water. So I'm gonna turn on full power. Let's see. So that removed it's got 650 left. So this one removed 350 milliliter of water in there. And moving on to the colorful X3, which is probably the same exact thing as the black X3. All right, again, about 10 inches away. Here we go. All right, pretty impressive. This one is sitting just under 450. So I removed around 550 milliliter of water. I'm still going to test the black X3. So let's see if we get the same exact result. 10 inches away, full power. Wow, exactly, just under 450. And that's keeping the same 10 inches away from the water. Now the X15, I was kind of surprised that this has the same amount of power as the X3. Well, of course, I didn't expect the X3 to have that much power. It's the most power I've seen from an X3 model. So let's see if this one's gonna get the same amount of water. Around 10 inches again. Okay, I don't know why. This is getting around 250. So you remove 750 milliliter of water. This is scoring higher than the X3. In the name of science, I'm gonna test this one more time to see if I really am getting more water out of this than the normal X3. I'm getting just under 300. That's pretty crazy. All right, last but not least, let's test the X7. This is gonna be the most powerful one. Hopefully it can remove all the water in here. That is empty. Look at this. That is empty. This thing's crazy. So to visualize how this moves air, I got a bowl of dry ice over here. So I'm gonna turn this thing on and let's see how it moves air. Now, if we compare this to a much stronger X7, I'm not sure you can see, but this thing sucks out the air a lot faster, which means it's gonna push out air a lot faster too. All right, so there you guys go. Now, what do I think about these turbofans? First of all, these are all really good turbofans, but what I'm here to do is to point out the value proposition and comparing that to the performance. So the first thing I need to point out is these X3s, the colorful one and the Max, these are really powerful. And for the price, $50, these are insanely good. The X3s, the cheaper ones I have tested before, they did not get the same numbers as these. So that's the first thing I want to point out, and that leads me to the second, is that since these X3s get just as powerful as this X15, that kind of bumps the X15 down and make it less attractive. even though in some cases it does still provide more power, but it's not enough to justify that $30 more. So honestly, if you're gonna go $30 more, that brings me to the third thing, is you might as well go with this X7. For $30 more, you get a lot more power, you get full metal construction, and you get something that's just a much better product. So if you're willing to spend a little more, the X7 is still my #1 recommendation. But if you're worried about the weight and the heftiness of this X7, that brings me to the fifth point, which is this tiny little thing. Now, this thing just fits in your pocket so well. It's much smaller, it's very skinny, and the tip doesn't fall off because it's a screw down tip. So when you put it in your pocket, the tip will not fall off. Whereas the X3, which is my biggest complaint to these, is that these are magnetic. So if you bump into that, it will just fall off. So for my other X3s, I actually used some electrical tape and taped up the tip so it doesn't fall off. But you can see in the video here, the X1 just fits my pocket so well. Whereas if I put the X7 in my pocket, first of all, it's really heavy. It's kind of dragging my pants down a little bit, and it pokes out a bit more. So if you want something that is really good for portability, then the X1 is definitely a good unit. Now finally, I did test the battery life of each of these turbofans, since that's something you guys always look for. These, on average, they all last around 10 minutes. Now the shortest one is actually the X1 over here. It was around 8 minutes, 8 to 9, close to there. And the rest of them, they're all kind of pushed up to close to that 10-minute range. And the X7 being the longest, right at 10 minutes. So I wouldn't say there's that big of a difference in their battery life, and 10 minutes being them running at full speed for 10 minutes straight. So in actual real life use, in my opinion, that is plenty. So let me know what you guys think about these turbofans, and I will have affiliate links down in the description that will help the channel out if you order through them. And if you have any questions about these turbofans, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I'll make sure to get to them. And also let me know which turbofan is your choice. I would love to know what most people prefer, depending on the price and the performance. Now, if you want to learn more about turbofans, I have this video up here so you guys can check it out. Thanks for watching. Bye.